The US Navy aircraft carrier is an awe-inspiring sight. These nuclear-powered floating cities, with a price tag of up to $14 billion, represent the pinnacle of both technology and power projection. An aircraft carrier is an unforgiving environment, both physically and psychologically. However, there's always an undeniable energy in the air, a blend of patriotism, a sense of duty, camaraderie, and adrenaline. Life on a US aircraft carrier operates on a rhythm unlike anywhere else. Days bleed into nights. The concept of time is often distorted by artificial lighting and the demands of the mission. For its personnel of nearly 5,000, the carrier becomes their temporary world during months of deployment. The US aircraft carriers are built around the biggest moving airfields in the world. For example, Ford CNV-78 has a flight deck area of approximately 5 acres. In other words, it's more than the length of 3 standard football fields placed end to end with a significantly greater width. Stepping onto the flight deck of any US aircraft carrier for the first time is an incredible sensory experience. The smell of jet fuel mixes with the sea air. The rumble of aircraft engines vibrates in your chest. The most fascinating things, though, aren't just jets and catapults. It's the sheer spectacle of coordination. It enables the men and women serving in these giant war vessels to achieve a formidable sortie rate of 160 sorties per day, with a capacity for surges up to a maximum of 220 sorties per day during times of crisis and intense air warfare activity. To achieve this perfection, the aircraft handling crews, who are named rainbow jerseys due to their color-coded roles, descend en masse. Aircraft directors in yellow shirts begin intricate hand signals, positioning powerful fighter jets onto catapults. Fuel technicians in purple shirts check fuel connections, and the green-shirted maintenance and catapult engineers perform final checks, ensuring these systems are battle-ready. At the core of this controlled mayhem is the carrier air wing, the very reason this floating nuclear city packs such a powerful punch. The latest and most advanced US Navy carrier, Gerald R. Ford, boasts 2 squadrons of 10 to 12 F-35C Joint Strike Fighters, 2 squadrons of 10 to 12 FA-18EF Super Hornets, and 2 C-2 Greyhound Carrier Onboard Delivery, or COD, planes. It also carries 8 MH-60S Seahawk helicopters. The ship accommodates more stealth fighters than are present in all of Russia's armed forces combined. However, just like Ford, any US Navy carrier air wing is a symphony of versatility, with every aircraft tailored for a specific role, yet coming together flawlessly to achieve their common goal: victory. Yet all this incredible aerial might would be grounded without this innovative technology: the catapults, or CATs. CAT is the powerful system that propels aircraft off the short takeoff space on US aircraft carriers. The most common type is the steam catapult, which has been the workhorse of aircraft launchers for decades. The new supercarrier class employs the new Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, or EMALS, which uses electric currents to generate strong magnetic fields that can rapidly accelerate an aircraft to takeoff speeds. Underneath the flight deck, there is a steel cavern where the birds of prey reside when not gracing the flight deck. It's not just a parking lot for aircraft, it's a hub of maintenance, arming, and preparation. The shriek of power tools mingles with the hiss of hydraulics and the calls of maintenance teams. Hulking fighter jets with their wings folded are surrounded by teams in various colored jerseys, diligently performing their tasks. You can easily smell the tang of metal, lubricants, and the ever-present hint of jet fuel. Crew members swarm across jets, inspecting every rivet, panel, and control surface. The rumble of jet engines occasionally pierces the din as technicians perform run-ups and tests. Nearby, ordnance crews load up munitions with precise attention to detail. Bombs, missiles, and air-to-air weapons are attached to the combat jets, ensuring firepower matches the assigned mission. Even with the final aircraft recovery, flight deck crews don't relax. Their tireless work continues into the night. Aircraft are refueled, rearmed, and inspected in preparation for the next surge of operations, whether a potential nocturnal threat or routine missions under the cloak of darkness. In the hangar bay, tired maintenance crews hand over to another shift, ensuring round-the-clock attention keeps the aircraft combat ready. As US Navy aircraft carriers navigate the boundless expanses of the ocean, they are tasked with maintaining awareness of all events transpiring hundreds of miles in their vicinity. To meet this demand, these colossal vessels are outfitted with cutting-edge systems and equipment, ensuring they remain vigilant against potential threats emanating from the air, sea surface, or depths below. A dual-band radar combines the X-band AN Spy-3 Aegis radar and the S-band volume surveillance radar, which can search, track, and illuminate multiple missiles, detecting enemy aircraft and missiles. This system guides Evolved Sea Sparrow missiles, or ESSM, and rolling airframe missiles to intercept threats while using the Phalanx close-in weapon systems for point defense. As expected, the Combat Information Center, or CIC, which is the brains of these operations, is a beehive of activity. This darkened nerve sensor is alive with subdued conversations and eyes locked on a multitude of screens. These centers are manned by highly trained personnel, including officers and enlisted personnel. Radar operators intently watch rotating blips, their hands poised to report unidentified contacts. Sonar electricians shift through the sounds of the ocean, searching for threats lurking beneath the waves. The Tactical Action Officer, or TAO, or Officer of the Deck, or OOD, oversees the ship's overall tactical operations, including the deployment of defensive systems and electronic countermeasures. US Navy carriers can travel at speeds that would not be expected given their massive size. For example, the Gerald R. Ford, with a displacement of approximately 112,000 short tons, can reach speeds exceeding 35 knots. Its two new-barrel Bechtel A1B reactors generate 600 megawatts of electricity, which is significantly higher than the output of the Nimitz-class A4W reactors. A 600 megawatt output is equivalent to the average electricity consumption of 260,000 detached houses. All this power and speed require equally remarkable sailors. High above the flight deck on the navigation bridge, experienced officers study charts and electronic displays. The carrier's course is determined with careful consideration of ever-evolving weather patterns, geopolitics, and operational objectives. Chart work, satellite updates, and weather reports coalesce in their meticulous calculations. Navigators steer the enormous vessel on its mission trajectory, with a seasoned officer ensuring a steady hand remains on the figurative wheel. Deep in the engineering spaces, the mechanical chorus grows louder. Here, in the belly of this vast floating city, the ceaseless hum of turbines and the whirl of generators provide the carrier with its relentless might. Mechanists' mates tirelessly monitor pressure gauges, steam levels, and temperatures, their vigilance and technical prowess keeping the mighty engines turning. Nearby, electricians navigate a maze of wires, their skilled hands tracing out paths that channel power across the length and breadth of the ship. And should disaster strike, damage control teams stand ever ready with hoses, extinguishers, and patching gear, poised to combat fire or flooding in moments. On a US Navy carrier, training exercises run parallel to live operations. In damage control simulators, teams race against time to quell simulated fires and patch flooding compartments. The relentless focus is on staying prepared for the worst-case scenario. It wouldn't be wrong to say that on these ships, where very tough tasks are undertaken with little room for error, the quickest way to keep morale high among the personnel is through their stomachs. For this reason, in the bustling belly of a US Navy aircraft carrier lies a hidden gem, a place where culinary mastery meets the relentless demands of shipboard life. This is the galley where talented chefs and dedicated cooks work tirelessly to nourish the hungry crew with delicious meals day in and day out. Mess specialists on these modern giants of the sea wield their spatulas with dedication, rivaling their shipmates on the flight deck. Their mission is to serve upwards of 18,000 meals a day, every day. That's like catering to a small town 3 times a day from a space most land-based restaurants would find laughably tiny. But feeding thousands of hungry sailors in the confines of a ship's galley is no easy feat. It requires meticulous planning, precise execution, and a healthy dose of creativity. Fortunately, the galley team is up to the task, drawing on their years of experience and ingenuity to deliver meals that not only satisfy the stomach, but also lift the spirits of the crew. But it's not just the scale of the operation that impresses. It's also the quality of the food. Did you know that some Navy cooks later served as chefs for presidents? Despite the challenges of cooking at sea, the galley team consistently delivers meals that are not only nutritious and satisfying, but also downright delicious. From juicy steaks to tender chicken, from crisp salads to decadent desserts, there's something for everyone on the menu. Amidst the whirlwind of focused activity, there are pockets of reprieve. For some, the gym is a refuge. Small libraries become a sanctuary where sailors dive into fictional worlds, leaving behind the concerns of their deployment for a few stolen hours. Impromptu jam sessions erupt, musical bursts injecting notes of creativity and camaraderie into the atmosphere. While a carrier is built for war, these glimpses of humanity underscore the personal sacrifices of life at sea. The carrier may be a city, but a city that never truly sleeps. Within the berthing compartments, some sailors surrender to weary sleep in rack upon rack of stacked bunks. But even slumber offers little respite. The gentle rocking motion of the vessel at sea becomes an inseparable part of the rhythm of life, a constant reminder of their unique environment. And as one day blends into the next, the US aircraft carrier sails on, a vigilant warrior and temporary home to its dedicated crew, continually fulfilling its role as a potent projection of its nation's resolve across the globe. So, what do you think about life on these remarkable Leviathans? What other pieces of military hardware would you like us to cover in our future episodes? Also, if you ever were lucky to see a US Navy carrier up close, or better yet, served in one, please leave a comment.